So, Alex Hormozi, this jacked dude who's worth $200 million, you know him? Well, he gave me one advice. Nah. And this one advice went on to make me multiple six figures as a person living in a third world country. So, that's cool. And I took it and I implemented it with my clients and gave it to my clients. And they went on to make multiple six figures too, travel all around the world, take care of the families. And today, I want to give it to you. I want to give you this advice. And by the end, I'm also going to give you the implementation of this advice, because advice by itself doesn't mean anything without the implementation. But first things first, welcome to the 20K Mindset series. It's a series dedicated for coaches to help you break the limits of your business. And to break the limits of your business, we first need to break the limits of your mind. So this is what we do here. This is why it's called the 20K Mindset series. First episode, we burned the old. Second episode, we discovered your strength. Third episode, today. So let's get the ball rolling. There's a coach that started working with me. And this guy, we were able to take him from a $4,000 a month working with people that he didn't like to approximately $13,000 to $16,000 a month. So it fluctuates, $13,000 to $16,000 a month. Without any kind of business tactics, I would say. By just giving him what I'm going to give you right now. Now, of course, we implemented some things, but this was one of the big needle movers for him. See, when he first started working with me, I'm not going to say his name because he's big on YouTube, and most probably if I mention the name, you're going to know who he is. He's really well known. He had a big audience, but he didn't make money. Anyway, when he started working with me, he was afraid. So he was afraid of money. He was afraid of making money. He was afraid of spending money. He was afraid of charging high prices for his clients. So he ended up every single time working for minimal wages. So people would hire him for 3 months and they would pay him $1,200, which is peanuts, nothing for his level of knowledge and his level of skill. And he would take contracts and jobs that would, diminish his value. He would work for someone and with someone that he didn't align with, that he didn't resonate with, that he didn't have common and shared values with, just for the sake of getting underpaid and just making $3,000, $4,000 a month, and that's it. Now, some people might be watching and they're like, $4,000 a month, that's great. My friend, if $4,000 a month is great, then you are letting go on the majority of the potential that you can achieve and the dreams that you have. But this is another conversation for another time. So he came to me for mentorship, for business mentorship specifically, but we didn't do any business mentorship. What happened is, in our first session, I took a look at everything within his life and within his business. And we realized that there's this big fear that is driving most of his decisions every single day. If he went to the store, rather than going out and picking something that he liked and he could afford, fundamentally, he was picking something that is discounted. He was picking something that is the best price for value. And this fear of spending money and making money was showing up in his entire life. So within the first session, I challenged him. I challenged him to end the contract with one of his highest paying clients because he wasn't aligned with it, which scared the shit out of him. And the second challenge that I gave him is to double his prices. I don't give advice, double your prices like other people, charge more. In my opinion, this is pretty bad advice. But in his case, I knew that he was undercharging. So I told him, double your prices. 2 challenges, 1 session. Within the first week, he ended his contract with his past client. Within the first month, he doubled his prices. And you know what happened? Without doing anything else, he was able to go from a $4,000 a month to a $13,000. His first ever month, he didn't jump this big job. He went from a $4,000 a month to a $7,800 a month. But here's the cool part. He went this big leap and he broke this limit without working with people that he didn't align with. So he doubled his prices, he doubled how much money he was making, and he stopped working with people that he didn't like. And here's why this happened. The principle that Alex, the big Jack, long-haired guy, $200 million net worth, taught me that I'm going to teach you right now is called the Solomon Principle. Let me take a sip of coffee and we'll jump into it. The Solomon Principle. So who is Solomon? Solomon was a fictional, biblical, historical character. Each person is going to label him in a certain way. I don't care about his label. I care about who he is and what he does. Okay? Nothing more, nothing less. So Solomon was a wise, knowledgeable, all-powerful king. He was known for his wisdom and knowledge. Solomon knew everything and had wisdom into everything, pretty much. And people came to him for advice about all manners of life, all manners of mysticism, esoteric knowledge, everything approximately. And the Solomon Principle states the following. No one can give you advice. You, right now. No one can give you advice better than you. You are the only person who knows yourself better than anyone else. This is coming, by the way, from someone who gets paid hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to give advice, fundamentally. And I'm going to tell you that no one can give you advice better than yourself. Because no one can sit in your shoes. No one knows your traumas. No one knows your beliefs. No one knows your past. You know those. So no one can give you an accurate and actionable advice as much as you can give yourself accurate and actionable advice, because you are the all-knowledgeable. You are the all-powerful. You are the wise person within your own life. But here's the problem. The problem is that most of us, we go through our life taking advice and giving ourselves advice and taking action pretty much based on our past failures, on our past beliefs, on our past traumas, and our current situations. And this is why most of us don't go really far in life. We take those actions, we move in life based on the past, not on the future. So the Solomon Principle states the following. Why don't you take advice from your older, wiser, richer, more knowledgeable self? Alex Hormozi calls this time Solomon time, where he sits down 1 hour with Solomon, his wiser, more knowledgeable, more powerful, richer self. And I started doing it, and I gave that to my client. And I told you the transformation. When you sit down with the older version of yourself, you can start asking questions like, what would you do in this situation? And the older, wiser, much more knowledgeable version of yourself can lead you. And trust me, he can. You might be sitting here, you might be like, what? He can. I've done that to myself and with clients so many times that it's mind-blowing. But how? How to do that properly? How to create a Solomon figure? How to identify a Solomon figure within your life that can lead you to your wiser, higher, more knowledgeable self? How can we do that effectively? Well, here's the exercise that I give everyone and that I implemented myself. By the way, if you haven't realized, I drink a lot of coffee. So a lot of people, and you might be watching right now, you know what an identity sheet is. You know what an identity sheet looks like. But most people do the identity sheet completely and utterly wrong, because they write an identity sheet based on the goals, based on what they want to achieve, based on who they want to become. And this is why it doesn't happen. This is why it doesn't happen, because you are trying to live from a future expectation and from future goals and material goals rather than creating a future identity and living based on this future identity. Identity is more powerful than anything else. So here's what you can do. The first thing that you can do in order to build a Solomon that you can sit down with and you can take advice from is take your picture. So I have it in front of me right here. I did it for myself. take your picture, put it into FaceLab or any apps that edit your face, and age yourself. Literally, you know those apps that put an older version of yourself once you upload an image of yourself? Do that. Once you have this older version of yourself, now you have an image of what you might look like, even though you're not going to look anything like it. But it helps for you to visualize where you're sitting with by doing that. Cool? That's the first thing. Once you have an image of your older self, by the way, I'm looking down because this is my own identity, and this is my own Solomon that I'm going to teach you how to do. Once you do that, you have your own Solomon in the future, and you can see him. He's in front of you. You now can see something. It's not a fictional character. The second thing is, who is this Solomon? Who is this Solomon? What does he have? How does he act? How does he live? I don't want you to read that he has 3 Ferraris. He has, no, who is he? Who is he as a man? Who is he as a father? Who is he as a husband? Who is he as a human being? What values does he hold? What habits and behaviors does he have? What beliefs and character traits does he have? And I know that most people are not going to do this. I know for sure that most people are not going to do this. Because most people won't take an hour or two to actually build their Solomon and their higher self and their older self. And this is why most people don't go where they want to go in life. So, who is he? Brief description. What are his values? What are his habits and behaviors? What are his beliefs and character? What is it? How does it look like? So, for example, my own Solomon. This is one of his beliefs. He works only in alignment. He's truthful. He's responsible. He works towards mastery. He's fearless. He's a creator, etc. My habits and behaviors, my Solomon habits and behaviors: wake up at 6 to 7. Every day you plan and execute. Every day you meditate. You take consistent actions. You do not consume. You create. So this is my own Solomon in the future. So step 1, brief description. Step 2, values, habits, beliefs, character traits. Write those down. Step 3, mental reprogramming. Look at here. Images, images, images. Those are not goals images. Those are life images. How does Solomon's life look like? Maybe places that he traveled to. Maybe things that he owns. Maybe his balance account, his bank account. Maybe his cars. Maybe his body. Maybe his houses. Maybe some views that he looks at every single day. Maybe his YouTube channel. Maybe his crypto account. Maybe his watches. Everything that the Solomon owns. So what are we trying to do here? We're trying to take Solomon, who is a fictional guy, in the future, and we're bringing him into reality. We're bringing our wiser, older, better version of ourselves, more knowledgeable version of ourselves, richer version of ourselves, and we're bringing it to reality. And then, one-liners. Solomon is, Solomon is, Solomon is, Solomon is. One-liners. Solomon is knowledgeable and a masterful father. Solomon is a great husband, and I don't know. Solomon is, Solomon is. One sentence descriptions, if you want to look at them. Why are those important? One sentence descriptions allows you to create identification patterns. So because our mind works in identification patterns, so our mind is like, this equals this, dot, identified, this fits in this box. So if we can create quick identification patterns, he is this, he is that, he is this, he has that, now we can even bring him to more reality. Now what happens once you have all of this? Some people are like, you read it every single day, 3 times a day. No. The goal is not to read this thing. That's not the goal. The goal with Solomon is for you to sit down with it or with him. The goal is for you to have one-on-one time with Solomon. That's the goal. The goal is for you to start making decisions based on Solomon. Just like my client was able to break through his business, not because he was making decisions based on his old fears, his own beliefs, his old patterns. He was able to break through his business because he started making decisions based on what Solomon was doing. If Solomon would go to the supermarket, would he shop for discounted stuff? Or would he shop for the best, healthiest stuff? He would shop for the best, healthiest stuff. So he would go and make decisions based on that. If Solomon would work with a client, would he work with a client that he wasn't aligned with, or he would work with clients that he was 100% aligned with? He would work with clients that he was 100% aligned with, right? This is the goal of us doing the Solomon sheet. You want to call it identity sheet, you want to call it Solomon sheet, I really don't care, whatever you want to call it. But this gives you a future image, and this allows you to start making decisions based on the future self, not the old or present self. And this by itself can be one of the most empowering things that you can ever do as an entrepreneur and in your life. If you truly want to break through the 6 figures, if you want to go to the 7 figures, if you want whatever, you want to build a multi-billion-dollar company, you will not do it based on your past. You will not do it based on what you have right now. The only thing that you can hang on to and rely to as life support to actually do it and to actually achieve it is your future self, your future, wiser, more knowledgeable self, because he already did it. And if you can take advice from someone who already did it, it's very easy to move forward. Does that mean that you don't pay for a mentorship? Of course no. The mentorship even makes you even more knowledgeable, makes it even faster for you. This is made for you to make daily decisions better. Daily decisions more aligned with your future self. And sometimes those daily decisions will lead you to invest. Those daily decisions will lead you to be like, oh, Solomon knows how to create very advanced content strategies. I don't. So let me invest in figuring that out. But at least you would be investing from a future standpoint, knowing where you want to go, not a past standpoint, based on your traumas, the best pricing, the best idea, quick win strategies. And this, my friend, is one of the easiest paths for you to scale and move very quick within your life. Do not make decisions based on your past self. Make decisions based on your older, wiser, better, richer, more knowledgeable version of yourself. This can change your life if you implement it. Thanks for watching, and please implement it.